some of the, it's hard to reach some of the regular followers who I may have not told to follow me on YouTube. So Juliet, are you following on YouTube, Juliet? And Karen, like I said, MJ, Al Alamp, F Fitley, Super C. Make sure that you're subscribing to me on YouTube and make sure also that if you can, you're Juliet. Okay, make sure that if you can watch on YouTube instead. She has a tattoo of Melania on her back. He's one of the creators of the Pirate Bay torrent site. Yeah, that's why that sounds familiar. Johnny Silver, hello. So anyway, one of the reasons that I have to get you all to join me in our privacy army is because no one I went to YouTube. If you go to YouTube and look at the videos, and Starlight is right. When you go to YouTube and look at the videos, it's like they're really there's no one dominant enough with the right information, and most of the videos on YouTube are actually fake. They're actually fake. They're not. They don't address things in my kind of detailed and honest way. A lot of them are shills. A lot of them are fake information. You will see comments like, "Do you need a VPN?" And then Leo Laporte from one of the YouTube sites called Security Now will say, "Well, you don't really need a VPN," and it's like, "Are you zucked up? Are you zucked up, Leo Laporte?" Okay, so do you really want to watch that kind of content, or do you want to watch some real ones? My problem on YouTube, on Periscope people, is that you can't search for my content. So if you haven't been following me for a long time, you can't really search on some of the topics that I have. You can't really. Trixie is now following. You can't really go to. Report are so disgusting in the bag for corporations. Exactly, Levent, exactly. To say that you don't need a VPN, and then he gave the reasons, Leo Laporte gave the reasons why you don't need a VPN. And he said, well, it's all HTTPS anyway, so, they're not going to see anything. And it's like, they're missing the point that the IP address itself is such a critical piece of information now. The IP address itself is a critical piece of information that we need to obfuscate and hide as much as we can because of certain things that they've added in recent years called reverse IP lookup. Things like that. And the fact that yes, I am the Rush Limbaugh of cybersecurity. Another example is the fact that from my scope yesterday about ISP spying on you, and ISPs are selling information about your location, and I don't know if they're including the IP address on that, but let's just assume that they are. Could you imagine if they're selling an IP address, a location, and then a name, because they know exactly who you are, they know where to send a bill, they know what your credit rating is, they know what websites you visit. They know everything about what you do, and they're one of the first lines of spying that actually exists on the internet. Everything that you do on the internet first goes through your ISP. And the only way to prevent your ISP from seeing that is to use an encrypted channel on the first leg so that the ISP doesn't see that traffic. And if they distribute IP addresses out on the internet, and they already do, if you go to them and ask, for example, if you're a copyright holder and you want to see who downloaded a particular video or music, they will actually identify you because they have that information as far as who's been on that IP address at any moment in time, and they can identify you and say, yep, John Smith here was the one, and he must have been the one to download that video, so therefore you can go sue him. And it's like, and if you just understand that they give out the information when you download videos that are illegal, then think about the context of nothing illegal, but they still have your information. And this is the kind of stuff that nobody ever says on the internet. I don't understand. You go on YouTube and the information is fake. Fake. You only visit federal sites and never get ads afterwards. So Tiffany Marlowe, please subscribe to my YouTube account, because I have new videos in there that's simplified and short, and they're 5 to 10 minutes long, and they summarize the topic, so it's easy to reference them, and you don't have to look for them forever, because I'm going to be putting all these videos that are focused. I have a playlist called Focus Tech Topics. So please follow me on YouTube. I'm trying to reach a goal of 650 by the time this weekend is over. So we're at 557 right now. I think we're actually plus 8. I think we're actually at 565, but I don't know. There's an on my YouTube analytics, it's a higher number. I don't know why it's 8 different here. Because last night at the last minute, 8 of them disappeared, but it still shows in my on my analytics. So I don't know. So we're gonna assume it's 557, 558 right now, but we're shooting for 650 for the entire weekend. So a few grand a year can buy much more than you think. You can buy a lot. Yeah, I can come up with the servers to do IP servers lookup, and I will pay for it, and then you can subscribe to it, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, what is Android or RS? Paco Porras, please subscribe to my YouTube account so you will learn a lot from me. I'm chock full of information on privacy issues and how your privacy is being invaded. And we need to have an army that says that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. No one actually speaks out on the internet about this. It's really crazy. You sign all hello Lenny PR. You sign all these end user license agreements saying, yes, you're willing to be spied on. I'm going to read the one to you from Facebook. Somebody posted one from Facebook, and you just sign this willingly, and it's like nobody complains about this, and you don't understand the dangers that this offers. TR Jim, are you following me on YouTube yet? I don't remember if you did. I found out Android has a Linux distro for that's true. Yeah, but there's no keyboard, so that doesn't help. Yeah, Android is actually Linux. Android is a version of Linux. Subscribe to YouTube and visit the video library. Zuck, hello my friend. Good to Zucking see you, Greek God. Yes, so Android is actually Linux, Tiffany. So if you can attach a permanent keyboard to an Android tablet, for example, that is actually Linux. So Android is based on Linux. Android is Linux with graphics. So it's like Mint, it's something like that. So it's actually just a Linux computer. So that's why it's most of it is open. It is open source. Hello, gay Beatart. I read that on Brax. It's crazy that no one reads the TOS. So anyway, we need to fight back, and this is why I need your support. I need to iOS is FreeBSD. Well, not anymore. Really? I don't. Is iOS really FreeBSD as a basis? Are you sure? I installed Ubuntu after getting past my patience limit with Linux Mint. Ubuntu is wonderful. I use Ubuntu. I use Debian. I use people who don't read the TOS kind of get what they deserve. Yes, that's why I'm educating you, Kelp, but you don't really seem to care either. So one of the things I talked about yesterday that I didn't finish, and this is for Kelp's benefit here. Yesterday I was talking about ISPs and how ISPs spy on you. And the portion of the spying that I did not talk about yesterday was actually about the ISPs working with the government, particularly the National Zucking Agency, as it relates to PRISM. So PRISM is one of the programs that they have, which actually tracks the metadata. They actually upload metadata information. This is separate from what AT&T does. They actually upload the metadata from every phone call and every text and everything that happens on telecommunications and send that over to the National Zucking Agency. That is part of a program called PRISM. PRISM, iSocialFit. iSocialFit, don't you want to follow me on YouTube? Haiku OS open source. How's your YouTube journey going? It's a struggle, Joseph. You know, it's hard to make a presence. Starting a new social media platform is tough. But anyway, one of the things that really bugs me, not until you fix your lighting. Okay, so iSocialFit, you don't want to see my Zuck videos. Well, it's on YouTube, so you better subscribe to see my Zuck videos. Thank you, Boycott. I have documents for Prism. Subscribe and tell your girl Feinstein to to sub roving bugs. So we are at 559 subscribers. We need to get to about 540 tonight. 540 tonight. So that's our target, and I want to make sure that those who are our regular followers are Jelly Beans. Can you make sure you're following me on YouTube? Jelly Beans, Lol Dips, Haunt. Karen, are you still awake, Karen? Please make sure that you don't miss out on I'll go sub tonight. Please sub right now if you can. Boycott box. Purchase a Stingray and be familiar with it. Tamsin, hello Tamsin. Please subscribe to my YouTube account, Tamsin. How are you, Tamsin, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. Tamsin, please, by the end of the month you'll have 2K. No, I'm not. But please subscribe to my YouTube account, Tamsin. Yes, you, Karen. Please subscribe to my YouTube account, Karen. Sub right now or you will forget later. Tamsin, yes, I'm moving a lot of my content to YouTube, my friends. So I need you all to subscribe to my YouTube account because otherwise I don't want to lose touch with all of you because, my content is, I'm making all the wrong statements. Find me last night on YouTube. Thank you, Daryl. I know you are. I said 540 is the goal. So you want less than what you have right now? No, sorry, 640. No, 600 I meant. The goal is 600. I'm thinking of last night. The goal tonight is 600. That's the goal tonight, 600. I have a different name. Okay, Karen, yes. So thank you. So we're at 561, so we just need 30, how many? 39 tonight. And we have to create an army. I'm going to tell you something, folks, and I'm talking very fast, kind of like making a video on YouTube. I don't know if you know that on YouTube, I almost did, Kelp. Last night, the number actually on my internal one says 557, and that the number here says 545. So I was just, so I don't know what's accurate, but if I follow the number in my analytics, I was only 3 off. So from my goal. So if that's correct, then it's actually 569 right now. But we're gonna ignore that. Okay. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen. So we're gonna assume that we're only at 561, although it could be higher than that. But we're gonna assume 561. And Tamsin, my content is gonna change, and half my content is gonna be on YouTube, and I prefer people to watch me on YouTube, even though I'm always simulcasting on Periscope. I'm also simulcasting on Twitch, but I'd rather that you watch on YouTube because it's very important with getting YouTube's attention. Here's the problem, folks. For a guy, don't watch the guy FoCTube and you won't want to be on YouTube. Yes, you'd rather be on Facebook, right? You'd rather be on Facebook. It's like, it's like a safe platform. And we're going to read the Facebook terms of service in a second here. But let me just say this. I searched for this, and Starlight just did the same thing. Yes, I know Anandratron, but since my topics are not political, then I think I'll be okay. Okay. I went to search. I searched for topics on YouTube, and the problem is people can if they started early enough on yes, Facebook Messenger is so unsafe, and they want to make it less safe. I'm going to tell you about that too. Facebook Messenger is going to be even. It's unsafe now. It's going to be even less safe when they integrate it with WhatsApp. My gosh. It's not personal. I'm loyal to platforms. How about you? You are loyal to platforms? What is the basis of your loyalty to the platform? You're loyal to the platform, but not to the broadcaster. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird, because the content is obviously with the broadcaster, not with the platform. So the problem with by the way, for those of you on YouTube, in case you don't know, iSocialFit right there, it works for Facebook. Okay, iSocialFit. This is for people on YouTube that don't know this. If you ever watch my video and you see whatever comment iSocialFit makes, he works for the for the Zuck. He works for Zuckbook. So make sure you pay attention to his comments in the context of where he works and where his investments are and what his stock how his stock is doing. So make sure you understand the context here, okay? So for those of you here in Periscope, you already know that, but anyone watching on YouTube, you do not know that iSocialFit is a shill for Zuckbook, but he's welcome here. He's welcome here. Anyway, this is why I need some support to show people on YouTube that a lot of the videos they're watching are actually fake news. A lot of videos especially related to privacy, are fake news, even from established YouTube performers like Security Now, and I see a lot of videos for. I saw a video from Linus Tech Tips, one of the top broadcasters over there, Linus Tech Tips, and then he talks about how to set up your VPN, and I said, "Wow, this is like baby talk." Baby talk. It doesn't tell you anything. I mean, it's something that you can just pick up from a book. There's nothing special about this information. Whereas I give you actual security tips. I actually give you security tips. So it's very, very important that we get. I thought WhatsApp is encrypted end to end. Back up a minute. We're not going to talk about that right this moment, Tiffany. But don't be so simplistic with your analysis of all these apps like Telegram and WhatsApp. They're all flawed in their own way. They're all flawed in their own way. Okay? They're all flawed in their own way, and this is part of the privacy war that I have to reveal to you how some of these apps, WhatsApp, Telegram, and you think those are secure apps, and then you look at Facebook. And some of you trust Facebook, some of you trust Facebook Messenger, some of you trust Instagram, and you're like, having fun always. Please follow my subscribe to my account on YouTube so we can speak out. I need to be able to speak out. Okay, I need to be able to speak out and tell you what the truth is, and have people on YouTube see what the truth is, instead of getting all this fake information from people who just happen to be popular because they were on YouTube first. Okay, so we're trying to break this pattern. So we're trying to break this pattern by giving you the true information. The true information. Okay, I'll give you an example right now, since we're talking about apps like WhatsApp and Telegram and so on. Okay, Telegram is very, very popular. WhatsApp is very, very popular. These are very, very popular security apps. Okay, WhatsApp, of course, is owned by Zuck. Okay, WhatsApp is owned by Zuck. Linus is a hardware man, yes, and he was talking about how to set up your Wi-Fi router, and it's like watch my video on Wi-Fi routers. He doesn't really help you make it safe. I've told you even exactly how many digits of a password you should use, but he doesn't know that kind of stuff. He's just telling you, oh, do this, and it's like sub-mechanical, and it doesn't really help you be safe. Tell us about Priscilla Chan. Who is she? Why do I need to tell you that? He has no business on software. So anyway, yes, so make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube, my friends. Subscribe to me on YouTube, and I'll tell you some of these facts. Use Telegram for MMA fights only. Okay, strangely enough, let's talk about Telegram and WhatsApp and some of these other ones, even Signal. Let's talk about these apps for a second. Why is it that these are secure apps, secure, super secure apps? Now try signing up to these apps. What is the first thing that they ask you to sign up to these apps? Could you please tell me? Smart people, tell me what the first thing that they ask for. All of these supposed secure apps. What is the first thing they ask for? Of course, I will be mentioning my app, but that's not our topic for tonight. These apps are asking for your phone number. So just to show you exactly what happened here, these secure apps. Secure apps. Okay, this is what happened. I went to Telegram. Okay? I went to Telegram and downloaded the app. It said, is there any way to sign up here other than phone number? And I couldn't figure out a way, so I had to put a phone number in. Okay? Momentarily, within a few hours, I get a message. I get a message from my brother. I get a message from my brother, and he said, it's great to see you on Telegram. And I was like, Zuck. Okay, so here's the problem, folks. If you put your phone number into Telegram, everyone in the world is uploading their contact list into Telegram. And therefore, they've already identified you just from contact lists and relationship maps. Don't be fooled by iSocialFit people. This is crazy. You built a relationship map by putting in a phone number and contact lists. And you're supposed to be a secure app. That's called metadata. That means they've actually starting to identify who you're talking to. They know who you're talking to. Yes, they may not know the actual content, but that's not even important, because if they know who you're talking to, how often you're talking to those people, that is sucking metadata. That is really, really critical. If I were somebody surveilling somebody, I would get a lot of information just from the metadata of who you're talking to, how long the conversation is, what kind of conversations or traffic occurred between the parties, how often it occurred, and what your location is at the time. These are very critical pieces of metadata information that these apps, Telegram, WhatsApp, is tracking. Now, here's the bad part. Here's the bad news, people. WhatsApp, as you know, is owned by Zuck. It's part of Facebook. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, just like Instagram is owned by Facebook. Okay? Look, people. Zuck just announced that he's going to connect the messaging from Facebook, probably going to connect it to Facebook Messenger, so Facebook Messenger can talk to WhatsApp, can talk to Instagram. Zuck, you are going to be so zucked. I'm going to explain to you how you're going to be so zucked by this. This is so stupid. Why would you use a zucking secure app like this? This is what happens, people. Your phone number now identifies you. If you do go to WhatsApp, your phone number identifies you. Okay? Now, you have a matching phone number on your Facebook, because for two-factor authentication, they require you to put a Zucking phone number, and you have your real name on Zuckbook, and then you have your name on Instagram. They now know all of the connections between those three accounts. They know your name, they know who you're talking to, they know your contact list, they know who, and their people are uploading the contact list. This is Zucked up. And you're like saying, well, this is not important. This is the kind of privacy thing that you're not thinking about, because it's a Zucking metadata. They're tracking all that. And you want to have a Facebook account? Think about what happens, and you're still Zucked. You're still Zucked if you use WhatsApp, even if you don't have a Facebook account. But if you have a Facebook account, you are really Zucked. Command line prompt, please follow me. Midori Mike, please follow me, sub me on YouTube. For those of you who are just coming in, some of my old-time friends, I have new content. I'm really branching out to YouTube. So hello, Betty. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. We have a goal of reaching 600 subscribers tonight. So please subscribe to me on YouTube. I make up accounts daily. If you don't have a VPN, those new accounts will be zucked anyway. You will be zucked on YouTube too, and I will tell you about that as well. Because fortunately, YouTube has been smart that they don't want to get to zuck you on YouTube because they will lose followers, they will lose subscribers on YouTube, and YouTube actually does not zuck you. I sub dog. Midori Mike 559. Thank you. 563 people. Please subscribe on YouTube. Everybody uses VPN. I thought, no, not everybody uses VPN. Some even use bad VPNs. Some uses proxy servers, which are not VPNs. So please sub me on YouTube, and we'll talk some more about these topics. So now you realize that you say, oh, I'm going to be secure on Telegram. I'm going to be secure on WhatsApp. Let me just contrast this with talking on Brax.me, my app, Brax.me. On Brax.me, I don't ask you for anything. I don't ask for a phone number. I don't ask for an email. I don't ask for any information other than what you put in. And you can establish a conversation with two unknown people, unknown to any external party, and you can have a conversation on Brax.me with end-to-end encryption, and that beats all the other options because I don't use a phone number. So there's no metadata to track you to anything. And I certainly don't track your IP address. Okay? Google Ads is the one that all the zucking traffic iSocialFit. They don't give you, it's not like ZuckBook. ZuckBook doesn't give you ability to erase your activity on it, whereas Google gave activity controls, which actually removed all the references to what I've ever watched. What was the purpose of a proxy? I should make a video on that so you understand, Kelp. Proxies are very old technology used to speed up the internet back in the days when there was low speed internet. It was used to cache content. It's caching content is the purpose of a proxy server. Caching content. It's not made for your security. It was made to cache content. Therefore, it caches what you look at. Therefore, all the traffic that you look at is on the zucking server. Burner phones are not 100%. They're burner phones are a problem too. So don't be too excited about burner phones. Okay, so yes, iSocialFit, I'm going to leave the dark side because that's how he makes money. But now iSocialFit wants you to go move to Instagram because he realizes that ZuckBook is zucked up. He realizes that ZuckBook is zucked up and probably wants you all to go to Instagram. Lucky for Zuck, he has Instagram because if he didn't have Instagram, his stock price will just go down like crazy. But now Blue Code Proxy have zucked us in corporations. Oh yes, IG is zucked up. IG is zucked up for sure, but IG at least allows you to be you can at least trick it. Why don't you friend yourself, Dihama? Don't you have any friends? So please sub me on YouTube. We have 563. We need 27 more people to reach our goal of 600 tonight. You don't have any friends, Dihama? You don't have friends in North Korea? Instagram Live is better than Periscope? How interesting. YouTube Live is better than Instagram Live. Okay? YouTube Live is better. So I'm using YouTube Live right now. I'm not even going to support Instagram Live. Certainly ZuckBook Live, no. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen with what? No way to trick IG. I tried it. It's impossible. Well, I haven't used I have a inactive IG account that I've never used. So I've never used it. I went in and left immediately. I was there for 5 minutes. So I actually YouTube Live is not better? Yes, of course, because you work for ZuckBook. Black on black? You mean this is not blue? Wow. What's wrong with your eyes, Jay? What color is behind me? That looks like black to you? Tamsin just subscribed. Thank you, Tamsin. What is that? What color is behind you? You think that's actually black too? Wow, you must be colorblind. And thank you, Tamsin. Colorblind. So hello, twin mom. Are you subscribing already? African American shirt. My shirt is African American. I didn't know that. Okay, so anyway, please. Goodness, I have 19 people watching on YouTube. This is awesome. 19 people watching on YouTube. That is. Are you HAPA? What is HAPA? What does that mean? Already subscribed to your YouTube. Thank you. What does HAPA mean? Madore Mike? Is it Madore or Mador? So we need 26 more subscribers on YouTube. So anyway, back to what I'm saying. Back to what I'm saying. With the silver one, you're right. I'm assuming that's from a light. I miss Money Don't Sleep. Why do you miss Money Don't Sleep? It's kind of a problem. Half Asian. I'm not half Asian, but I'm mostly Asian, but I do have mix. Yes. Only 19. Yeah. For tonight, I social fit. I need only 26. 26. So thank you for watching on YouTube. We got 18 watching on YouTube. Thank you. 18, 19 watching on YouTube, and that's appreciated. So yeah, if you can watch on YouTube, it'd be much better. So besides, the quality of the video is better on YouTube. JK is Monkey Man now. Zuck. Some of these comments are riot, completely off base, and slightly rude. What's the goal here on the analytics? The point of you prefer we watch on YouTube. Yes, the comments are the same whether you're on YouTube or not. I'm an American. That's what I am. Actually, you're not gonna get paid for until you get to, even if you did get 500,000 watch minutes, you're not gonna get paid that much anyway. It's gonna be small change. No, but the problem is I don't get organic visibility to fight back, and this is how it works, people. This is how it works. Okay, the way YouTube works, they look at your analytics to see if you're believable according to the algorithm. This is the YouTube algorithm. And if they find that you are believable in terms of your content, they then push your content up into the search engine. If they don't find you to have street creds, they do not make you visible. Betty is UAL. Thank you, Betty. It's Rob Braxman Tech. Rob Braxman Tech, right up there. Okay. So if you don't have the proper analytics on YouTube, then basically you're invisible. The reason that I'm able to push my presence on YouTube is because I already have 32,000 followers here on Periscope, and I also have 52 million hearts. I've been here for a long time. My problem here on Periscope, people, is that out of my 32,000 followers, I actually believe that 30,000 of them are no longer on Periscope. So I'm basically just like a normal beginner on Periscope. 30,000 of them left Periscope. It's kind of disgusting that they're, where did they go? Well, I'm going to tell you that they're probably on Instagram and they're probably on YouTube. So you're right. They are on Instagram, iSocialFit. I don't deny you that. They are on Instagram. They are on YouTube. If I make a presence on YouTube, it's not going to disappear. If I get 32,000 subscribers on YouTube, they are not going to disappear like they do on Periscope. So my 30,000 is not zucking fake iSocialFit. I work hard for the 30,000. I know a lot of those 30,000, so zuck you. No bots for me. I'm bot free. My subscriber base is honest and real, and I'm actually at 32,000. Even Ron Waxman's numbers are fake now. He got like 30,000 bots, so his numbers are up to 72. He's actually around 30. he's around 35,000 real followers, not 72. So half of it is fake because he got attacked by Bobkov. I don't have that problem. I have not been attacked. My numbers are very authentic. The problem is real. The people have left Periscope. There's only 2,000 left. Those are all new people, and they're hardly here all the time. And so they come watch me occasionally, and I have to reach them on a day-to-day basis. I have to reach them on a day-to-day basis in case they show up on my scope. And it's very, very difficult. Are you saying that you need Zuckbook to grow your audience? Are you zucked up? I need YouTube. No, the squash traffic is not meaningful. Yeah, I can put the squash in here, and yeah, so I put the squash in, and Periscope people come in, but it's not important. They're gonna go flood me here, and it's not really beneficial. There's 23 people watching on YouTube right now, so I appreciate it. 23 people watching on YouTube. I work nights now, so I can't always watch. Yes, that's why it's excellent to have YouTube, because then my YouTube content includes videos as well, not just live streams, videos and live streams. So, YouTube full-time job it is a full-time job for me to do the YouTube. Yes, it's a full-time job, and I'm not making any money doing this. This is a investment for the long run, and it's very, very difficult. And the only thing I need is your support, and do something called subscribe, which doesn't cost you anything. You just subscribe to me on YouTube, Rob Braxman Tech. It doesn't cost you anything, and you're actually going to benefit from it because I'm posting content almost daily. I'm posting content on YouTube daily, so you will get the benefit out of that. I do instructionals. I gave a factual instructional on how to set up your iPhones to block the advertising trackers. I gave you a video to how to set up your Wi-Fi safely, like password lengths and all that. And so I gave you some new information on this new thing called NewsGuard. I told you about how your location is being tracked using reverse IP lookup. I told you what you do when the police come and grab your phone and say, unlock it with Face ID, and how to respond to that. I gave you that video. I explained to you how there's fake news and what Alexa does. I told you how to create passwords, short passwords, and not that many passwords, like 4, and why that would work, and you don't need anything complex. I showed you that on YouTube. That's some of the content I posted in the last couple of weeks, and there's so many videos now. So please don't miss out. Subscribe to me, and at the same time, you're helping the army. You're helping the army, okay? You're helping the army because the army is the privacy army, and the privacy army needs to fight back. There's so few of us, people. There are so few of us. If you're not concerned about privacy, there are so few of us left, and we need to build up the army that says, Zuck this. We're going to out all the apps and all the supposed apps that are supposedly protecting us, like the WhatsApp and the Telegram, and they're really actually zucking us. Okay, we need to go and find out what these zucking things are so we can zuck them up, so that you don't go to these platforms and not reveal our personal information and our privacy to these apps that don't care about us. I am the only one that talks about this. There's not anyone else on YouTube that actually has any kind of presence that talks about what I talk about. All we see are shills. So I'm giving you fresh information. If you want to get Jazz Piano, it's in my other account. Without the tech, it's Rob Braxton without the tech. That will be the Jazz Piano YouTube account. I have 2 YouTube accounts. Many shills. Yes, DEF CON. I like nothing fancy on YouTube. So please make sure that you subscribe to me on YouTube so that you get the benefit. I got 24 people watching on YouTube. I got 36 people watching here, but most of these people are probably just looking at the squash. Okay, so if you're not following me on YouTube, you're gonna miss out, and it's very, very hard to find. Devrim, are you following me on YouTube? Devrim, Nicole, are you following Jack Daniels? Lazy Boo, are you guys following me on on YouTube. Yeah, I am. I'm unfortunately I'm fighting a very very difficult battle, and one of the analytics that YouTube wants before you can actually be noticed is you need to get uh, a thousand subs. So that's kind of the minimum. You got to get 1,000 subs before they start, making you visible on YouTube. Next, they're gonna watch something called watch minutes. My watch minutes are actually getting up there. By end of tonight, my watch minutes will probably be around 30,000 watch minutes for the last 30 days, which is a good beginning. Good beginning. The minimum that they want for watch minutes is 20,000 a month. So I've already exceeded that, and I need to get this down. At the rate I'm going, it'll be easy to get to 40,000 minutes this month. So I will have double what they expect. So I'm already on my way. But at this point, even that's not enough. Even that's not enough. You can sign your grandma in. Thank you. So you should do a one-on-one style conversation. What about popular app in Japan named Line? Many. I can sign up. We need to. Hi, Mantis. Thank you for being on YouTube, Mantis. Okay, Mark Skog is this AI messing when you're typing. There's an AI on YouTube, so you can't really be trolled on YouTube. There's an AI on YouTube that will stop trolls in there. So, anyway, so yes, needs a beer and a zucking what? A freak. So yes, so we need 25 subscribers for tonight to reach our goal of 600 for tonight, and that's our goal. I'm trying to do this in a progressive manner, so we have something to shoot for every night. And sometimes I'm kind of limited by how many people show up from Periscope that I know that are following me already. People versus MSM, please. TMJ Boss. Privyet. Shrich. Michael, HVIP, please. Unofficial Svervet. Please subscribe to my YouTube account where you see most of my content now is going to YouTube, and right now there are 21 people watching on YouTube. So, and you can see all the YouTube comments and the Periscope comments. They're all coming to the same place. I'll be streaming Nadell versus Dovchich, whatever that means. Is that like some sort of fight? Some sort of WW whatever, MMA. Anyway, so back to what we're talking about the shills and so on. There's so much fake information that you're actually made to think that you're being made safe by using a WhatsApp and a Telegram and a Signal and so on, and yet they zuck you with just the first thing they ask for, which is a phone number. Then they suck in all your contacts. They zuck you there too, because when somebody takes in contacts, it turns into something called a relationship map. And if somebody actually records all this, you can actually track relationships of who knows who. And then that alone will reveal who you are in a big way. I'm going to give you an example here. This example is from Zuckbook. This is the Zuckbook example. Okay? I set up a brand new email account. Hoping that I will not get zucked by Zuck. Okay? I set up a brand new email account. I don't have a Zuckbook account. Okay? I don't have a Zuckbook account. So, no, I did have a Zuckbook account. I made a fake one. I made a fake Zuckbook account, which I don't use anymore. But I had a fake book account, and I use that to test theories on what Facebook is doing to track me. And I go in there and I look and see if there's anything unusual about the traffic. And I look at the recommended friends. I look at the recommended friends on this fake Facebook account. Since I don't have any posts, I don't have any friends, I look at the fake Facebook, the recommended friends, to see if it knows people I actually know. I have two. Are you sure I only have two? iSocialFit. Are you certain I only have two? Okay. So anyway, don't you want to block my account, iSocialFit? Don't you want to block my account? Anyway, so yeah, I'm sure you searched it. So anyway, so I looked into the Don't Mess with Zuck book. So I looked into my if you're truly aroused, friends, share this broadcast, please. I don't want to involve with any of them. So I went to my recommended list of friends, and then one day it started to show real people on there, real people I actually know. And why not iSocialFit? Why don't you block me since I don't use it anymore? Why don't you just delete it? Why don't you delete the accounts? iSocialFit. You can say, I know these accounts are being used for fake purposes. Delete them. I just delete them. Don't fucking care. Do whatever you want. Okay? If you think that's the only access I have on Facebook, then you're zucked up. Go delete them. Go delete them. It's okay. I'm telling you right now, if you want to delete them and say you violated whatever privacy, whatever rules of Facebook, go delete it. Okay. So anyway, I went in there and it actually found real people that I know, and I was like shocked. How did Facebook find real people that I know? They're not they're not closely related to me, but I know them. I know them from an association. Okay, I'm associated with them, but I don't, they're not part of my personal life. Okay, but it bothered me because Facebook isn't supposed to know that. And you know how it found out who I know? It found out these people from a relationship map based on other people uploading contact lists. And this was a new email address, so I shouldn't even be on any contact list. And it actually somebody put my new email, which I hardly ever use, and it got uploaded into a contact list, and that person then made a connection between me and those people, and then that person has a relationship map and connected me with all of the people that he knew, which I happen to also know. Now, they're not friends or anything, but I know them, and the fact that Facebook knows people I know bugs me to no end. And that's the kind of privacy invasion that is just extremely bothersome. Because if I don't tell it anything, how do you know that? Okay? How do you know that? It's really bothersome. So yes, this is the kind of stuff that just, I fight for this. I fight for you. I researched this so that you know some of the dangers that we are exposed to. But if you're gonna get the benefit out of this, please subscribe to my YouTube account, because I need our voices, the army, the privacy army. We need to out the bad players. We need to out the bad players, and we're gonna do it only with this army. Panopticon is the browser fingerprinting, very, 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 very important thing as well. Panopticon is the first one that showed the browser fingerprinting problem. Yes, I am sounding the alarm, and the problem is I need to have a voice on a platform other than Periscope. So I need to have a voice other than Periscope. So please subscribe to me, Rob Braxman Tech, or I will not have a voice. This is a very, very difficult struggle. I need 25 more tonight. We are 565 right now, Roughhausen. 565, so we got like 20 today, I believe. Or no, yeah, 20 today. So we need 25 more. Having fun always, yes. So we need to get you guys to support the fight here for privacy, and I will always be here to help you and to provide you with your information, to research all this. No one really talks about what I talk about. No one really talks about what I talk about. My information is often unique. How many people tell you that the metadata from WhatsApp and Telegram actually breaks your privacy? How many people tell you that? How many people tell you that when you have a conversation on Telegram or WhatsApp that's more than two people, that the encryption is actually not end-to-end. End-to-end encryption can only occur between two parties. It's just the way the encryption system works. Okay? Encryption, which is the exchange of keys, can only happen between two parties. Beyond two parties, you can't do that. So therefore, the keys, if you go to Telegram into one of these groups, there's no actual encryption. They can decrypt that in a second. Okay? So if you go to a group discussion of any sort on WhatsApp, on Telegram, or any other site like Discord and this and that, Gab AI, there's nothing private about any of that. None. And this is the fake news. If you think you're safe, and all they did was just give you some fake news, and you actually think that that's true. One of the fake news that they tell you, just an example. Again, nobody talks about this, people. Nobody talks about this. One of the things they tell you is that we have end-to-end encryption. And to prove this, we are actually showing you that we have open source. And so you say, oh, wow, they're open source. They must really have end-to-end encryption. Wrong. What they gave you was 1% of the source code, and they said, this portion of the source code is open source. Okay, and this portion of the source code shows you that there's end-to-end encryption. It doesn't tell you about everything else that happens in the app. Okay, it doesn't tell you that anything else that happens in the app. As it turns out, end-to-end encryption can only occur with two-party conversations. Because beyond that, how do you do end-to-end encryption? There's no way to do that that they've come up with. Brax.me has end-to-end encryption for a group. Because of the design of Brax is a bit different. It's not attached to a device. Okay, so it's a very different way of doing it. And so Brax is actually secure with a group encryption. And many of these apps don't have that. So just some of the fake news that you get out there, okay? So once you actually do the research, I actually looked at the source code. No huge D bytes. I don't need to have a conversation with Money. He's one of the ones that is misinformed. He's so fond of Telegram, and he argues with me about Telegram because he doesn't understand how it actually works. He's not the programmer. I am. Okay? If you have the conversation with Money Don't Sleep, he's going to say, well, you should use Telegram. And I said, do you know how Telegram actually works? What's the worst case scenario is that the data that we put on the internet is so much and it's irreversible that they're going to use it to manipulate you and I in a big way in the future. It could affect, things like future jobs, health insurance, your children, benefits and things like that, and even friendships. Because if your information is widely available, doxing becomes an everyday thing. Everyone can dox you. There's almost no place to hide. There's not going to be a privacy. If there's an issue, somebody will be knocking on your door because they know where you live. It's crazy. It's a crazy world. It's not the world that's ever... This has never happened before. People actually don't understand that from a sociological point of view, that the idea of open and free information about every single human being has never existed in the history of man. If no one has any experience with this, how come we are so confident that this is going to be a good thing? The only history we have about the dangers of mass information and how we are always told that information is king and whoever gets the information gets the control. And we have to rely on George Orwell's book, 1984, not Orson Welles, like I said in the video. George Orwell, I screwed up. And we don't think about the scenario that's described in there, because do you really want a place where you can't even talk in private? Where there's no place to talk in private, and you say, well, I guess I have nothing to hide, so I don't really care. And you don't understand sociologically what happens when you are prevented from speaking your mind. Let me just give you a scenario here, just so you understand. Two people will speak different things in two scenarios. let's say you're told that everything you post on this website is public. They know who your full name is. They know where you live, and then you start posting comments on there. Now make another website where they don't know who you are. Okay, they don't know who you are. Now, what do you think happens? I want you to really understand this. Understand this deeply. Okay, somebody like Kelp doesn't understand it, but understand it deeply. You have a website where you put your real name on there. This is the Facebook. And you put your real name on there and you post whatever you say. Okay? And then you have another website where you did not use your real name. Are your posts going to be the same on both platforms? Are your posts going to be the same on both platforms? And the answer is no. Because we will be self-conscious because we don't know if our employers or whoever else may be looking at that. So the majority of you will be careful about what you say. And what happens is when you control it, you actually start to be certain that whatever you say is only mainstream. You're not able to say things that you may think is not mainstream, or people might think you're a tinfoil hat or be an extremist. But even if you really believe it, you can't say it because you feel like you'll be ostracized by society. So you will not say those things. And this is very bad for society because it creates a society of robots where you just follow whatever somebody says in the establishment. You've become a follower. You don't come up with creative ideas anymore. You're not going to be able to come up with a creative idea because you're afraid someone will actually say, "Oh, that's so stupid." So one of the things that somebody's going to say, and it's already happening now, what if you go to Facebook and say, well, Facebook is an unsafe platform? Well, that will be ostracized on Facebook. Telling you right now. So therefore, what will happen is no one will be able to say that. So we persist in using Facebook, even though we know that they're actually tracking all this data about you. And you're going to say, well, but that's the common sentiment. So I guess we have to just, leave it be and not say anything. Do you know how that ruins society? This is going to be the problem in countries like China, in countries that actually control speech. In China, they're going to use this kind of data now to create social media points. And your social media points will allow them to rate you and judge you and make you conform. So it basically leads to a conformist society. Okay, a lot of the creative inventions of modern time actually came from non-conformity. A lot of the inventions in modern time came from people who did not want to conform because we got a fresh idea. Yes, you might think some people are extreme, but then you start to say, that actually is something we never thought about. That's actually valuable because we didn't realize what the effects of it are. Well, as it turns out, Rob Braxman here, I am a nonconformist. In a conformist society, I'd be blocked. I wouldn't be able to say what I'm saying. In a conformist society, my talking about privacy will be blocked. Okay, I'll be no different than the PragerUs and the whatever. Okay, and the InfoWars. I'd be blocked too. So I don't want a society like that. Because then I can't tell you the truth because I'm not telling you anything tinfoil hat. I'm telling you about a reality of how privacy is being broken because we don't care. We don't care. So we don't want to create a society where guys like me that are talking about non-conformist ideas but are correct ideas. These are correct ideas. There's nothing incorrect about what I'm saying. And yes, we jump into the loss of privacy and we don't really know what the effects are. Well, I can foresee the effects because I'm in IT. I'm a tech guy. I'm a long-standing tech guy at a very, very, very advanced level. I was involved with things like data mining and all that as well. We do it in medical. We do the data mining in medical. We do it to do something called outcomes analysis. That's a term. That's a data mining in medical is called outcomes analysis. Okay, and And if you understand what you can find out with outcomes analysis, you can actually predict diseases and so on. Think about how that is used to profile society, to profile control, how to manipulate the messages, how to do subliminal messages to convince you to do something. They can market test this with focus groups and manipulate you, and you don't even realize it. All the fake news in Facebook, they can study all the effects of that and do market testing, and they'll say, how do we manipulate the population to vote for whoever and vote for some idea and then minimize some other idea? The establishment is able to do that. The establishment is able to say, let's marginalize an opinion. Let's marginalize an opinion. So my opinion about privacy will be marginalized because it's not to their benefit. It's for the benefit of the establishment to have all of your content visible so they can predict and profile you, and so they can manipulate you at the time of the election. If you don't have a profile, they can't manipulate you. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're thinking. They can't manipulate you. I'm the one telling you that. I'm being marginalized because I am not on the mainstream. I am not from the mainstream. So this is the kind of information that I want you to understand. And this is why I need you to support me by following my account on YouTube, subscribing to my account on YouTube. We have not budged here. I've talked for 15 minutes, and I not get a single subscriber from any platform. So please subscribe to me. We have 22 to 24 people watching on YouTube right now. It's anonymous identity. Any help? Yes. Sometimes you're not anonymous. Sometimes you are. But you're basically saying, Kelp, that we can only be a conformist, which is completely false. Okay, completely false. You know, the idea that the only way to communicate is by being a conformist will ruin society. Society has never been conformist in the United States, ever. This is not a conformist society. It's what made the U.S. the way it is. And if you want to break that system, we'll be like China. China will have a problem. China will have a problem. I'm telling you right now. Because they're building a nation of conformists. Okay? Building a nation of conformists. So please follow me on my YouTube account. Subscribe to me. I guess the term is sub. So sub me on my YouTube account, Rob Braxman Tech. I'm actually putting content in there that is not on Periscope. There's a lot of videos there right now that are not on Periscope, and trying to reach some of the people who don't usually come here. Mikey, Wifukan, T. Sear, Marufo Flores, Chorizo, April and May, please subscribe to my YouTube account so I get visibility for our army. What I'm trying to do is create a privacy army concerned about all this, and the privacy army needs your help. GM Mark, please, as I said with my long speech that I just finished, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rob Braxman Tech, so that I'm setting a goal here so that I can have visibility for our message here. It's not my message, it's our message to protect our privacy. It's our message to protect our privacy. I'm your spokesperson. I need your support. I need your support, people. I need your support. So I want you to go to Facebook right now. Watch me on Facebook. Zuck, no Facebook. I want you to watch me on YouTube if you can. Thank you, Boycott Box. I want you to watch me on YouTube if you can, because YouTube is tracking the hours that are watched, and it's actually used to give me street creds, which they will then allow. If I get street creds, they will have organic views of my videos. Right now, there's no organic views of my videos. My videos are only visible to people on Periscope. Nobody else sees these because, as far as YouTube is concerned, I'm not real yet. As far as I'm on Zuckbook, as far as YouTube is concerned, I'm not real. And the only way to get real is to say, yes, I've got the numbers to show that I'm real. And the number they're looking for, it's at least 1,000 subs. at least 1,000 subs, and so much in watch minutes. Okay, so I'm shooting right now for the first goal, which is the 1,000 subs, and then the watch minutes are happening because you're watching me on Periscope. I mean on YouTube. So so anyway, you can see how important my subject matter is. Very, very important. And I actually don't have any support. I'm doing this by myself. No one actually on Periscope talks about what I talk about. Yeah, they'll hit it on the side, but no one actually talks about what I talk about. There are some people who are concerned about privacy on the internet, and yet they make their primary presence on Facebook. And I'm like, if you're promoting privacy, and you know how easily doxxed you are, you're going to be doxxed by being on Facebook. Why do you tell your followers to stay on Facebook? Why do you even broadcast on Facebook? It's almost like saying you give up. You actually said stay on Facebook because that's the way it is. And yet you're saying you're a privacy advocate. That means you are not a privacy advocate. As a privacy advocate, I cannot think of any more unsafe platform for you because I will sucking dox you if you're on Facebook. I will sucking dox you if you're on Facebook. Okay, so. iSocialFit can kill my account now. iSocialFit can kill my account now. He said I have 2 accounts. So what are my 2 accounts? I don't know what my 2 accounts are. I know I at least have 1. Do I have 2? I mean, they're kind of obvious because they're called Rob Braxman, but they don't have any followers and no friends. So they're kind of obvious. He can find them. So be a leader as a privacy advocate. Lead by example. Kill off your FB account. I don't have an FB account. So my FB account is for testing. There's no content on it. It doesn't identify me in any kind of a way. I don't use it. So, I'm talking about this. It's very, very important. It's fake. He will help me and make it easier for me. I will kill my FB soon. HV Dreams, Juliet, make sure that you delete your content ahead of time. Don't kill your account without deleting your content. Okay? Don't kill your account before deleting your content. So, by the way, when iSocialFit said I had 2 accounts, then that confirms he works for Facebook. That confirms he works for Facebook. Okay? Even though he's incorrect. He's actually incorrect. But my 2 known accounts with an obvious name are on there. 24 people watching on iSocial is an FB employee. I'm certain he's an FB employee. I'm certain. I'm pretty good at spotting that. Yes. And he said Zuck himself that I've been talked about by Zuck himself. By the way, I have What the Zuck on Urban Dictionary. Please upvote that daily if you can. Please go to What the Zuck. Put it in your browser. Just put it as a favorite in your browser. And every day when you're not thinking about it, it's part of the privacy war. Go to What the Zuck definition on Urban Dictionary and just upvote it every day. It will allow you to upvote it every day. You do not have to log in. It just takes an IP address. Okay? And even an IP address on your VPN. And it will actually you can just keep upvoting that. If you're on the road, that's a different IP address. You can actually upvote it several times a day. And the reason that that's important is that we're sending a message. We're sending a message to Zuck that yes, we got an army of people. We got an army of people that are concerned about privacy, and we need him to hear that. Yes, Kelp, you basically want to hurt people, Kelp. You're not here to help people. You want to hurt people. Okay? You want to hurt people because you're saying that we're all criminals. Therefore, we should be all tracked like criminals. Why don't you actually track criminals, Kelp? Since you're a law enforcement person, why don't you actually spend the time to track criminals instead of tracking innocent people? Okay? Great Gold, you can even do it just on the road when the IP is not in your house, even without a VPN. So we need 24. After that long speech for 22 minutes, many criminals go to Facebook. Well, that's good. They can do that. They can go to Facebook. But we're not teaching criminals here. We're teaching average everyday folk how to defend yourselves. We're teaching you average everyday people how to defend yourself. We need 24 people to subscribe. I made this long speech for the last 22 minutes, and I only got 1 subscriber. So that is very, very sad. Very, very sad. So, why don't you track the sex offenders, sex traffickers, the pedophiles, and the real evil people, instead of worrying about average everyday folk who are just doing normal things and there's nothing to suspect you of that we're doing anything wrong. Why are people like us the ones being tracked? Okay, if Mueller spent his time tracking me, he's not going to find anything because I don't do anything that interesting. What I do is protect people's privacy. It bugs me to no end. Okay? I tell my entire family, nobody's doing anything dangerous here or bad, but still, I don't want to be tracked. I don't want my location tracked thousands of times a day because I don't care. Okay? I don't want it when I have guests here that they're being tracked and associated with me. I don't want that to happen because it's an invasion of privacy. Sometimes I want to have my windows closed. Sometimes I don't want you to know what I'm thinking about politically because I don't want you to manipulate me. I want you to be able to tell me what you actually think, and I will judge on my own without having to be influenced by fake zucking news. And you will be influenced by fake news when they can profile what you stand for. And this is very sad. We still need 22 people. So in the last 24 minutes, I got 3 subscribers. But your cause attempts to eliminate all. That is, you are zucked up, Kelp. There are so many ways for law enforcement to track real criminals as long as you have evidence, you have some suspicion. Kelp. First, it starts with zucking suspicion. Then you get a zucking warrant. Then you can do whatever you want. Okay? Suspicion. That is, Kelp is just zucked up. He doesn't believe you have a right to a zucking warrant. He believes that you should just be surveilled at your leisure and be abused by the power of the government without using the benefit of the Constitution, which says, yes, you are not subject to unreasonable search and seizure because it's in the Constitution as part of the 4th Amendment. He doesn't think that's a right. He thinks, we should just track you. Zuck you, Kelp. All you have to do is say, I saw somebody behave with suspicious behavior on Periscope to a child. Therefore, that's suspicion. Go get a zucking warrant and go track that person. Use your head. Use your head. Why would you track everyone on Periscope or YouTube or Facebook or any other platform if there's no suspicion? Why? Because it's used to manipulate. It has nothing to do with zucking crime. Kelp is zucked up. Kelp is zucked up. Totally zucked up. What do you mean it's not always that overt? If you have some suspicion, it's very easy. You saw them on the internet and they're behaving suspiciously to some child on the internet that should not be on the internet, like on Facebook. You see some child on Facebook. I see it on Periscope. I see that all the time. Why don't you go to Periscope and get all the IP addresses of all those people that went to that child's broadcast and track them and say, okay, let's see who's hanging out here and see if there's a pattern. That's the kind of people that said, okay, I think we need a warrant to go search for these people because they're suspicious. But no, Kelp doesn't believe in that. Kelp believes in something called mass surveillance. That's what Snowden tried to reveal to us, is something called mass surveillance. Innocent people being tracked for no reason. Plus, we got private enterprise tracking us for no reason. That's called mass surveillance. And that's an invasion of privacy for no benefit to us or to this nation other than to manipulate. You can't hide that, Kelp. If you have a zucking warrant, you can even go to an app like me and say, we need this information, we have a warrant. I will give you information if you have a warrant. Let's say somebody's on Brax and I get a warrant. I have no choice. I have to give you the information. You're zucked up, Kelp. You're zucked up. Totally zucked up. You don't really believe that there is a value in protecting the rights of citizens. So you actually believe, by the way, just to remind you what Kelp believes in, he actually believes that it's okay to put a roadblock in every corner and just inspect all of us to make sure that we're all safe in the neighborhood. So his idea of safety is we put a roadblock everywhere. So everywhere you go, there's going to be a roadblock, and they check you out and check your trunk and check everything, even though you didn't do anything wrong. That is what Kelp believes in. Now, how does that relate to the Constitution? It does not. It relates to the Chinese Constitution. It does not relate to the American Constitution. And I support the American Constitution. That's what I support. The American Constitution. So basically, Kelp said, well, we need to be safe against terrorists. So basically, Kelp said, we need to give in to terrorists. All they have to do is create a terror incident, and we're going to be subjected to a 1984 government control police state. The terrorists have won. So basically, if you follow Kelp, the terrorists have won. Stupid Kelp. He wants the terrorists to win. Zuck. Kelp, you want the terrorists have won under your system. They have won. I want my life to be my life. I don't want to have anyone manipulate me. As long as I'm not doing anything wrong, you have no right to confuse the issue and make it seem like I'm doing something bad. I am not doing anything bad. Therefore, leave me zucking alone. That's what privacy is all about. If you're going to go invade somebody's privacy and rights, you need to have a warrant. No, that's not true, Kelp. You're imagining things, because it's easy enough to know if you're there's no reason to track somebody like me. I have nothing to do with terrorists. What do I have to do with terrorists? Yet I'm being tracked just like you're being tracked. What do you have to do with terrorists? Maybe you're dealing with terrorists on the side. I'm not. Okay? I'm not. But Kelp, I think you're dealing with terrorists on the side. Politicians and police get to blame when terrorists. Zuck you, Kelp. Zuck you. That is called conformism. That's what happens when we let this happen and we don't question society. So they created a Patriot Act. Look at the name, Patriot Act. Where you're revealing your private information for no reason and mass surveillance is patriotism. Suck that. Suck that. Abusive power with abusive FISA and all this. Suck that. Okay? Have some real sucking reason to investigate somebody with something that actually suggests that something evil may be afoot. Don't just surveil 99.99999% of the population because 0.0001 may be a zucking terrorist. That is zucked up. Zucked up. Zucked up. Zucked up. People, look at what I say here. Look what I say here. I need your support, people. I need your support. Please subscribe to my... Look at what I have to deal with here. Look at what I have to deal with. Look at what I have to deal with. I can't even get my ideas expressed here, and I gotta have visibility so that my message is seen. I gotta have visibility, people. So please subscribe to my YouTube account. We need 21 more, and in the last half an hour, we only got 4. We need 21 more. We only got 4 subscribers in the last half an hour. That is just, this is like pulling teeth, truly. It's like very, very difficult to accomplish here. Very difficult to accomplish. Very, very difficult to accomplish. Yeah, you're not supporting me in the proper way, Kelp, because you're no, your limits are zucked up. Your zucked up limits, Again, with the proper warrant, a fair warrant, not like Rule 41 warrant. Rule 41 says if you're using encryption, you therefore deserve to get hacked and tracked. That's not a fair warrant. It's got to be suspicion. If there's suspicion of some activity, okay, if there's a suspicion and a third party, like a judge, says, okay, you're right, there is suspicion, and they give you access, okay, I will give you access to data because by law I have to anyway. I can't deny law enforcement access to data if there's a warrant. It's in the law, okay? And I will follow the law. If the law says I got to do it, I got to do it. End of story, okay? But that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is a situation where no one is actually keeping an eye. Who watches the watchers? Who watches the watchers? That's the purpose of the Fourth Amendment, is for somebody to be watching the watchers. In this case, the judge watches law enforcement to make sure there's no abuse. Okay, Kelp, you are so zucked up. I'm in the encryption business. Obviously, because I'm in the zucking encryption business, I have zucking business secrets to zucking hide. It's like privacy keys, like keys. And to say that in itself is a suspicion. You are so zucked up, Kelp, so zucked up. I want everyone to have the right to maintain their business secrets, personal secrets, life secrets, which have nothing to do with the zucking government. It is not going to hurt people. It is for your benefit to keep something secret about your life. You should be able to do that. In my case, they're business secrets. I don't want encryption keys to be circulated and then somebody hacking my systems because they got a hold of my encryption keys and passwords. I have a lot to hide just from that alone. From that alone. Okay? And Kelp doesn't realize that. I guess he doesn't understand that businesses have secrets. So if you're a auto company and you're designing a new car, oh yeah, let the competition see your new design so they can catch up and come up with a car of the same design at the same time. Yeah, really smart move. Really smart move. I'm just amazing mentality that let's not have any secrets. And this is the kind, let me tell you about conformism. And I'm talking about a lot of stuff here. I'm giving a lot of content. Let me tell you about conformism. And this is the kind of thing that Kelp actually promotes. Let me tell you something, Kelp. Listen and pay attention here. Many people in high tech work in Silicon Valley. Many people in high tech work in Silicon Valley. Okay? Silicon Valley. So in Silicon Valley, they are reluctant to use encryption. Why are they reluctant to use encryption, even though the security of these products is very important because trade secrets get revealed to China and so on, to Russia and anyone who wants to compete with us? Why do you not want it to be encrypted? But here's the problem. Many of these people who work for these companies, including Bearscope, okay, many people who work for these companies are not born in the United States. Some of them come from Iran. Some come from Saudi Arabia. Some come from Iraq. Some come from Malaysia. Some come from China. Okay, some come from Russia. They're very skilled. They're very skilled high-tech people, but they're afraid to talk about things with encryption because they will be suspected of trying to hide criminal activities. And that's because of the Kelp zucking mentality that is compromising our trade secrets. That is a zucking mentality that Kelp promotes, that he says, well, we don't deserve any kind of privacy here. These people in Silicon Valley are so afraid to go to encryption because they're not American. And they come from the Middle East or some country that is going to suspect them just from being from those countries. So they decide, okay, I guess I can't go encrypted. I'm going to be wide open so that they can see I have nothing to hide. That is so sucked up. That is a kind of conformism that happens because of the philosophy of somebody like Kelp. That is not the American way. That is not the American way. People, I'm a supporter of privacy. We have a right to protect our own data. We have a right not to be manipulated. We have a right not to be profiled. That's what we stand for. Please follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to me on YouTube, Rob Braxman Tech. Please subscribe to me on YouTube, Rob Braxman Tech. And don't listen to what Kelp is saying because he's zucked up. Zucked up. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. I've been talking here for 37 minutes and we only got, what? 4 subscribers. Are you following me? Anonymous, are you following me on YouTube? Are you following me on YouTube, Anonymous? So guys, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm creating all these speeches here. These are very important speeches I'm doing on YouTube. Very, very important speeches, and I need to get your support. We're not getting the subscriber count here. We're not getting the subscriber count, which tells me that no one wants to pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm very saddened by that. It's like somebody saying that, you know, what I talked about is not important. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. So please, the plusers, DMJ Boss, PA1, My Info M, Jelly Beans. If you're not subscribing to me, if you're not subscribing to me on YouTube, please do. Are you Money Don't Sleep, Anonymous? Are you Money Don't Sleep? Because you're zucked up. If you're Money, then you're zucked up. Because you want to go to your zucking telegram. So please subscribe to me on YouTube. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. Yeah, this is very, very. Thank you, the plusers. This is very disturbing. This is very disturbing when I get you know, people that really don't care about the message. It's really sad. It's really sad. You're from the Netherlands, plusers. It's really sad. You know, it's you know, I speak with a, you know, a really a small voice, and I need to be heard. I need to be heard. This is, you know, the idea of somebody protecting your privacy. That, you know, somebody like Anonymous here that said you need to pay more attention to your YouTube subscribers' live comments. I can see the live comments. It's showing up on the same screen. The Zuck are you saying? The Zuck are you saying? The same comments are showing up on the screen. However, you know, that's why you have to log in here. I can see your comments if you're putting it on YouTube. I can see YouTube right here. I can see it twice. I can go back to my YouTube and see, you know, M. Gilmore says it takes a while to get subs. Keep it going. Yes, but in the middle of my topic, I can't respond to that because you're missing. I'm not missing any of them. I can see all of everybody's comment. But I'm not responding to everyone when I'm in the middle of a speech. I'd rather get eye contact and make sure that, you know, I show you. So I can see everybody's comment, and most of the comments are from Starlight. Most of the comments are from Starlight. From Richard. So anyway, thought it was just you. I can see all of your comments, but if I'm in the middle of a rant, you know, it's I get too excited, and comments are relevant to the lives. What are your thoughts on Stone? That's kind of a political thing. I see paint job and I'm not interested in politicizing my broadcast. Okay, Exo Ghost. Sorry, I'm screwing up here. You know, I need to. The thing is, I need glasses too because the YouTube text is kind of small. So, anyway, so yes, I can. You can scroll back. Which one are you, anonymous? Which one is your name here on? So I can look back and respond to you specifically. Since you're saying I'm ignoring you, which one? What is your name? What is your name uh, on here? Okay. Do I follow Q? No. Do I pay attention to Q? No. I didn't even know who Q was because I'm not a. I'm just when it comes to politics, I totally become disinterested because I'd rather have people have free information to talk about issues rather than me focus on the politics. So I welcome everyone on all sides, and I don't want to super politicize uh, my broadcast, even though my my topics tend to be libertarian. Now, Sponge. Well, if I talk about Q here, I'll be marked as being, one specific side. So it's important I don't talk about Q. Okay? It's important I don't talk about Q. I actually avoid it. Okay? So there are some sides that I gotta just say, okay, I'm not gonna talk about it because then, it will mark me in a certain way, and that's not important to what I do. So Sponge, please, Sponge, please subscribe to my YouTube account, Sponge. Sponge, my YouTube account. Please subscribe to my YouTube account, which is Rob Braxman Tech. Are you subscribed to my YouTube account, IC Paint Job? Thank you. We need 31. I'm sorry. 31 subscribers to get to. Wow. Thank you. I'm just not making progress here. I'm at 569, and we'll get a few more when I end the broadcast. I don't do YouTube yet, but if I did, I would. You don't do YouTube? So just set up a Gmail account and doesn't have to be your real name and that's YouTube. Doesn't take more than that. Just don't use your real name in your Gmail. Boycott box. It's not progress because it's so fucking showing that my army is not mobilized. My army is not mobilized. Yes, Kelp. They took a break yesterday. They took a break today. They're going to take a break tomorrow. They're going to take a break Monday. And yes, I don't really focus on politics. One, if you expect politics here, it's not going to happen. Thank you, Boycott Box. If you expect politics, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to focus on politics. You need to get subs by people searching YouTube. I will get that, M. Gilmore, once I get to 1,000 subs. That's actually the reason you need to get to 1,000 subs. You cannot be searched for until you get recognized by YouTube as being worth searching for, and the real marker for that is 1,000 subs. This is really part of the equation. I'm not getting any organic search at all from YouTube. None. Zero. All of this is from Periscope. I get zero organic presence on YouTube. The only thing that I need is for people to get me to 1,000, and then organic growth will come once YouTube realizes that I'm authentic. That's the way it works. Seba Romero 51. So that's why I'm asking you to sub me on YouTube so that we join the privacy army. If you're concerned about your privacy being abused, support me in my attempt to get visibility. I need to get visibility so that my message gets across to people on YouTube who are currently watching videos that are fake news. I can't believe the fake news on the videos they're watching. No entiendo nada. Are you sure, Romero? Are you sure, Romero? So, I need you to we need to do the army. Okay, Tier Fun Guy, hello. So Tier Fun Guy made a great post about about Facebook and the Facebook terms of service, and we're not going to have time to discuss it tonight, but I'm going to discuss it tomorrow. The Tier Fun Guy's post on Facebook terms of service is awesome. It's exactly what I want to talk about. So it's kind of the example of an invasion of privacy when we are not being aware of what we're signing our lives towards, and we're not being given a choice. I'll give you one example. Mention our channel on these other channels which are competing with you. I can't do that right now. Not until I get 1,000 subs. Companos, I need a whack pack. You need an AR. Zuckerberg owns your identities, your profile forever, even if you delete it. That's correct. So anyway, I do want to focus on that and some of the issues that relates to how we sign up our lives to some of these platforms, and we don't actually concern ourselves what the after effects of that are, and it's a very, very dangerous after effect. And an example. I'm doing that one actual human, but I got to get to 1K first. There's no clickbait bait. I can't get any. I will not show up in search engines until I get to 1K. It's kind of like, first things first. You got to get to 1K, and then you can get search. And then when you get search, you can get organic growth. It's a very, very difficult problem. Where's DNS solved on a VPN? If a VPN has DNS leak protection, which my VPN does, then it will solve the DNS problem. Also, the other problem is called a web RTC leak. If you do videos, you do things that do video exchanges, like many one-on-one video talk methodologies on the internet, websites that do that. That is subject to a web RTC leak. So your VPN needs to protect you against a lot of that. Okay, so if your VPN is not sophisticated enough to do a web RTC leak and a DNS leak, you are zucked. So you got to know how to do all that. It's not that simple. That's why I have a Tor router that actually guards against that. We're going to talk about Tor and VPNs next week. We're going to talk a lot about Tor and about VPNs. I'm going to make a video next week. I'm building towards that. So you understand? Do you understand that? Okay, what comments am I missing on YouTube here? I'm not missing any comments here. So please sub me on YouTube. I only got in the last 50 minutes I only got 4. This is very, very non-promising here, guys. We need to get more support in this. Okay, so please, if you've heard what I've said here, some of you have heard, some of you just came in. Yolanda, highly blessed. Please make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. I got to get, every night I got to get the people who are normal followers of mine to find me on YouTube, because otherwise then it's just very, very difficult to reach. I'm trying to give, if you watch the video that I made tonight, this video, I'm trying to make a solid point here. And if you watch what I said here, I think I've articulated the exact reasons why we need to be very, very concerned about privacy and the importance of the topics that I promote. This is very, very critical. And I think I've articulated it. And now that I've articulated Now that I've articulated, I hope you now say, okay, we got to support this guy. We got to support this guy in its attempt to start the privacy army. This is a very small army right now because people don't care. People don't care. This is a privacy army, and I need people to give us visibility. 569 is not 600. Nowhere near 600. Yes. Can you start a roster of people to work on? How would we do that? Maybe follow them up with real. That's what I'm doing on the videos, but I got to get them to watch the videos. So, and I'm trying to reach them on Twitter and so on. And if you've seen that I'm promoting some of my topics on Twitter, please retweet some of my messages on Twitter. Rob Braxman Tech on Twitter. Retweet some of my YouTube videos there. That will hopefully get some more subs. So retweet, if you go to my account, Rob Braxman Tech on Twitter. Some of you already follow me. Retweet my recent tweets that have YouTube videos on them, and I'm talking about exactly some of the actual videos that are very, very specific. Yes, huge D bytes. Yes, it's a very. I hope I'm doing that. If I'm not, let me know. Give me feedback. If you think I'm not using the right words in my video titles, I appreciate the input. That's what I'm doing, Boycott Box. I gave you one example already, which is the Weather Channel. Now let me just talk about this one example, the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel is an example of an app that gives you weather information. That's a Weather Channel app which you use to do the weather information. Does it have a right to spy on you? I mean, weather's not like big information. It's something you can get on TV. It's something you can research on the internet. But does getting weather information justify that an app tracks your location several thousand times a day? Does that justify it? Is that justified? That's exactly the kind of thing I exposed in my videos on YouTube, because I said that's just sucked up. Why would a Weather Channel app be authorized to track me and everything, every movement I make all day, thousands of times a day, so they know what market I go to, what school I go to, what church I go to, what doctor I go to, demonstration or rally I go to politically, that I go to Alcoholics Anonymous, that I do, all of the stuff that are visible from location. Why would I allow that? And that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, is that we don't care, and these apps allow us to are allowed to do this and track our stuff. And I even gave you some tools on YouTube on how to stop that. How to set your iPhone to prevent that kind of thing happening when you use apps like the Weather Channel. I gave you that information on YouTube. And so that's why I'm saying support me so that I have the incentive to keep doing this, and all I need is visibility. Yes, it's in your back seat. Yes, Boycott Box. It's just so disgusting. It's disgusting. These are just disgusting truths here. And here we didn't, I've been talking for the last hour. We only have 4 subscribers in the last hour. It's just even more disgusting that my information apparently is not useful. Menscape, Cody's, Bob, yes, please subscribe to me on YouTube, because you're going to benefit from some of the videos I just described right now. So some of the videos that I posted in the last, I wish I had a quarter for everyone and told about brags, I would be rich. Don't use clickbait titles. This can easily backfire on YouTube. That's correct, Starlight. Your clickbait titles are actually very, very bad on YouTube. You actually have to follow them up with watch minutes. If you put the clickbait title and then nobody watches, that's actually a big negative. And thank you for the 18 people that are watching right now on YouTube, or now 17. I subscribed when you first started. Thank you, Manscaped. So thank you. So anyway, So just to show you an example of the kind of content I'm doing on YouTube, and next week I'll talk about Tor VPNs and the specifics of that and the deep side of why that's really very important for you because of all of these privacy issues. And I'll be talking about that next week. I'll be making videos, and then I'll talk about it next weekend. And that's Tor VPNs. I made a cloud-based Tor router that I'm offering as a product called Bytes Tor. It's on the Bytes VPN web.com website, and I'll be talking about some of that and why that is useful to you. And we have to kind of consider this a little bit of a game. We need to consider this to be a little bit more of a game, like that we should get excited. We should get excited by. We need to get excited by our attempts to hide our activities on the internet and consider it to be fun. I look at it as a like a project. It's actually a game where, if you can beat the system and make sure that they don't know, make sure they don't know how to find you and so on. It's actually kind of fun, and if you know the tools, if you know things like Honix and Tails and so on, and all these solutions, and because if you're more advanced, you will start to you'll enjoy it. It's a little bit of a game, and then you don't look at it as being negative. It's like, hey, I evaded all these people from tracking me, and that means I can sneak around on the internet and not have somebody micromanaging my ideas and what I do. I like it when I go to YouTube and I don't get suggestions that relate to my political beliefs, because then I want to be completely confused about what I stand for. There I get a kind of even-keeled kind of information. Yes, I'm shooting for 30 more subscribers, and I don't think we're going to get 30 more subscribers because I only got 5 subscribers in the last hour. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how long I can pursue this. We'll try to locate social media anonymous meeting and promote your channel. Thank you, actual human. I think Kelp is a bot. No, Kelp is not a bot, but